boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair, stow my comb, that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for. Knock at the door and a ring at the bell, oh my true love, are you well? Out she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Jenny Murphy says she'll die, she don't get the fellow with the robe in eye. Tell me ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Hold my hair, stow my comb, that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high, snow keep falling from the sky. She's as nice as apple pie, she'll find her own lad by and by. When she finds a lad of her own, she won't sell her ma till she goes home. Let them all come as they will, Albert Mooney she loves still. Tell me ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Hold my hair, stow my comb, that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Tell me ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull my hair, stow my comb, and that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Tell me ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Hold my hair, stow my comb, that's alright till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she is the belle of Belfast City. She is courting 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she?
In 1803 we sailed out to sea, out from the sweet town of Derry. Australia bound if we didn't all drown, and the marks of our feathers we carry. In the rusty iron chains we sighed for our wains, as our good wives we left in sorrow. As the mainsails unfurled, our curses we heard on the English and thoughts of tomorrow. At the mouth of the Féile bid farewell to the soil, as down below decks we were lying. Oh, Darty screamed, woken out from a dream, a vision of bold Robert dying. As the sun burned cruel, we dished out the gruel. Don O'Connor was down with a fever. 60 rebels today bound for Botany Bay. How many will reach their receiver? Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. First into hell as our bows fought the swell, danced like the moth in the firelight. White horses rode high as the devil passed by, taking souls to head us by twilight. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning. In our own slime we were lost in a time, endless night without dawning. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Van Diemen's Land is a hell for a man to live out his whole life in slavery. Why the climate is raw and the gun makes a law, neither wind nor rain cares for bravery. 20 years have gone by and I've ended my bond. My comrades' ghosts are behind me. A rebel I came and I'll die the same. In the cold winds of night you will find me. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning. In our own slime we were lost in a time, endless night without dawning. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning. In our own slime we were lost in a time, endless night without dawning. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning. In our own slime we were lost in a time, endless night without dawning. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. We buried our comrades each morning. In our own slime we were lost in a time, endless night without dawning. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry.
If you're walking through a city street, you could be in Peru. You'll hear an ancient calling and you'll know it's meant for you. You drop what you were doing and you join a merry mob. Before you know just where you are, you're in an Irish pub. They've got one in Honolulu, one in Moscow too, 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Hey! Their designs are fairly simple, they always seem the same. The Irish boys are scoring in the Ireland-England game. You'll know you're in an Irish pub the minute you're through the door. You'll hear the Belfast Cavemen singing a bit of Christy Moore. They've got one in Honolulu, one in Moscow too, 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Now the owner is Norwegian, the manager comes from Cork. The lad who's holding up the bar says only Egypt's work. He was born and raised in Bowden, his mama she's from Kildare. When he makes his fame and fortune, he'll be moving to County Clare. They've got one in Honolulu, one in Moscow too, 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. We really should be going, we've got to catch a train. So we'll leave you sitting at the bar looking out at the wind and rain. But we'll take a pint of your offering if we've not gone on the dry. We'll meet up again St. Next week in the fields of Afton Right. They've got one in Honolulu, one in Moscow too, 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. They've got one in Honolulu, one in Moscow too, 4 of them in Sydney and a couple in Kathmandu. So whether you sing or pull a pint, you'll always have a job. Wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub. Say wherever you go around the world, you'll find an Irish pub.
Just an ordinary man, nothing special, nothing grand. I've had to work for everything I own. I never asked for a lot, I was happy with what I got, enough to keep my family and my home. Now they see that times are hard and they've handed me my cards. They say there's not the work to go around, and when the whistle blows, the gates will finally close. Tonight they're gonna shut this factory down, and they tear it down. They'll tear it down. I never missed a day nor went on strike for better pay. For 20 years I served them best I could. With a handshake and a check, it seems easy to forget. Loyalty through the bad times and the good. The owner says he's sad to see that things have got so bad, but the captains of industry won't let him lose. He still smokes a cigar, he drives a brand new car, and still he takes his family on a cruise. He'll never lose. He'll never lose. It seems to me a cruel irony. He's richer now than ever he was before. paycheck is spent, and I can't afford a rent. One law for the rich, one law for the poor. Every day I've tried to solve each sum of the pride, to find some work so I might pay my way. But everywhere I go, the answer's always no. No work for anyone here today. No work today. No work today. And so condemned I stand, just an ordinary man, like thousands beside me in the queue. I watch my darling wife trying to make the best of life. God knows what the kids are going to do now that we are faced with this human waste, a generation cast aside. For as long as I live, I never will forgive. You stripped me of dignity and pride. You stripped me bare. You stripped me bare. No work today. No work today.
As I was walking over the Cork and Kerry mountain, I met with Captain Fair, all his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and then produced my sabre, said stand and deliver, for I am a poor receiver. Usher, rummadoo, rummada, whack for madadio, whack for madadio, there's whiskey in the jar. They counted all his money, and it made a pretty penny. Well, I put it in my pocket and I brought it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that never would she leave me. The devil take that woman, for she never can be easy. Usher, rummadoo, rummada, whack for madadio, whack for madadio, there's whiskey in the jar. Well, I went into the chamber, and for to take a slumber, I dreamt of gold and jewels, for sure was no wonder. Then Jenny threw me charges to fill them up with water, and sent for Captain Fair, all to be ready for the slaughter. Usher, rummadoo, rummada, whack for madadio, whack for madadio, there's whiskey in the jar. Usher, rummadoo, rummada, whack for madadio, whack for madadio, there's whiskey in the jar. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he. Leave you all wherever you may be, leave you all to the dance, said he. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he. Lead you all wherever you may be, lead you all to the dance, said he. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he. And lead you all wherever you may be, and lead you all to the dance, said he. Dance, dance, wherever you may be, I am the Lord of the dance, said he. And lead you all wherever you may be, and lead you all to the dance, said he.
Well, how do you do, young Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside and rest for a while beneath the warm summer sun? I've been walking all day and I'm nearly done. Well, I see by your gravestone you were only 19 when you joined the Great Fall-In 1916. Well, I hope you died well, and I hope you died clean. Young Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? Did you leave a young wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined. Although you died back in 1916, in that faithful heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, enclosed and forever behind the glass frame? In an old photograph, torn, battered and stained, and faded to yellow in a brown leather frame. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest? The sun, now it shines on the green fields of France. There's a warm summer breeze that makes the red poppies dance. And look how the sun shines from under the clouds. There's no gas, no barbed wire, there's no gunfire now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses stand mute in the sand. To man's blind indifference to his fellow land, to our old generation that were butchered and damned. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife lowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. And 1847 was the year it all began. Deadly pains of hunger drove 1 million from the land. They journeyed not for glory, their motive wasn't greed, a voyage of survival across the stormy sea. In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal. Fortune, and some of them knew fame. More of them knew hardship and died upon the plain. They spread throughout the nation, they rode their railroad cars, but their songs of music to ease their lonely heart. In the city of Chicago, as the evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming
evening shadows fall, there are people dreaming of the hills of Donegal, of the hills of Donegal, of the hills of Donegal.
St. Patrick was a gentleman, he came from decent people. He built this church in Dublin town and on it built this steeple. His father was a Gallagher, his mother was a Grady. His aunt was an O'Shaughnessy and his uncle was Paul Grady. The Wicklow hills are very high and so's the hills of Hulster. And there's a hill much higher, still much higher than the both, sir. On the top of the say hill, St. Patrick preached a sermon. He drove the frogs into the bogs and he banished all the vermin. There's not a mile of Earraigh Isle where dirty vermin muster. And there he put his deer for foot and he murdered them in clusters. The frogs went up and the toads went pops up diced into the water. The snakes committed suicide to save themselves some slaughter. 900,000 reptiles blue he served in sweet discourses. Dined on him in Killaloe and soup and second courses. Where blind crawling in the grass disgusted all the nation. Right down to hell with the holy spell he changed their situation. No wonder that them Irish lads would be so gay and frisky. For St. Patty taught them that as well as making whiskey. No wonder that the saint themselves should understand distilling. For his mother had a shebeen shop in the town of Enniskillen. Was I but so fortunate as to be back in Ulster, and I be bound that on that ground I never more would want, sir. For St. Patrick planted turf and cabbages and pratties, pigs galore, my grandma's store and altar, boys and ladies.
You may talk about Atlantis, or its lost beneath the sea, or the grave of the unknown soldier, or the cry of the old banshee. Who was the man in the iron mass? Was it Jack the Ripper set free? Well, ask them all, where's Donegal? It's still a mystery. Oh, if I could, I'd build a wall around old Donegal, north and south to keep them out. By God, I'd build it all. Casinos, chicken ranches, I'd legalize them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas on the hills of Donegal. Oh, Las Vegas on the hills of Donegal. Playboy clubs and all-night pubs, blackjack and roulette. Mel Gibson, Bridget Nielsen, Mike Tyson having a bet. In his shine, the time be known for its multi-millionaires. Well, the Donald Trump, he'd have a chunk, he'd live in solitaire. Oh, if I could, I'd build a wall around old Donegal, north and south to keep them out. By God, I'd build it all. Casinos, chicken ranches, well, I'd legalize them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas on the hills of Donegal. Oh, Las Vegas on the hills of Donegal. That stand on top of Earraigh would give me such a thrill. I heard them say in Dublin, there's gold up in the hills. So if you're there, don't realize me. The wall it's deep, it's going cheap somewhere in Germany. Oh, if I could, I'd build a wall around old Donegal, north and south to keep them out. By God, I'd build it all. Casinos, chicken ranches, I'd legalize them all. We'd have
have our own Las Vegas on the hills of Donegal. Oh, Las Vegas on the hills of Donegal.